it's Leanne, and I finished, believe it or not, my poppies and wildflowers, I think it was called, or just poppies and flowers. So now it's time to kit up for I'm doing drills and chills and fall, small shop fall festival. I was really hoping to do the Bella Safina. I think I told you that's what I was going to do next. But what I didn't realize is it is a round, and I just finished a round, and I really don't want to do 2 rounds back to back. I just, nope. I like rotating out. So I was like, wait a minute, I just got this Art and Soul. It's a Sugar Skull, so it goes. And it's a square. So because my other ones were, I had several from Diamond Art Club that would work, but that wouldn't work with the Small Shop Fall Festival, and I really wanted one kit to do 2 things. So anyway, give me a second, and I'm going to zoom you in a little bit more and have a seat, and then we'll get started on kitting this up. Alrighty, see you in just a second. Okay, I am back. And let me turn on this light. I'm afraid it's going to give you glare. Let's see if it's too much glare. Well, yeah, it kind of is, but I really kind of need it. So anyway, here's the drills I have to deal with today, and there's 49 colors. And when I kind of went through them during my unboxing, I noticed that there was some static. So I've come prepared. I have my static guard. I have 2 Q-tips, and I have a dryer sheet. So I can cut those up if I need to, and I'll use my handy dandy scissors that I got from Make Your Own Wall Art, the makers of Alien Putty. So, yeah. But the first thing I'm going to have to do is, as you can see, I love my art dots. I love them. But these here are just way too big. So I'm going to actually just cut here. And you know what? I think, because I've never done an Art and Soul before, so I don't know if their sticker sheets, if they end up sticking to the bottles. Diamond Art Clubs are perfect because they don't. They come right off, and I like that. But everybody else, I tend to put washi tape, and so I think that's what I'm going to do with these as well. So, yeah. Hope I remember to keep you in focus here. I forget that, you know, the camera's not all seeing, right? So let's cut this here. Oops. Cut that, and then I'll cut this out so that I can save it for my logbook. Okay. I'll cut this off as well. Don't really need all of that. And normally I would write on here, right, you know, after I kit up and I place my first drills, I will write on here today, or the date that I start. And I don't ever like to do it until after I have placed my first drills, because I'm like, well, what if something happens and I have to leave, and, you know, and then I don't get to working on it, and then I'll be all confused. And yeah, so let's see. I've got this washi tape here. I think this will work. I forgot what this came with. Oh, come on. Come on. And see, I think, oh my gosh. Sometimes I wonder if I shouldn't get all this set up first. Because I'm not real sure yet y'all want to see me do all this, but here we go. So yeah, this just helps get the stickers off when I'm done easier. And you can see on some of my bottles, I've got some little smudges from, you know, where I didn't do that. And yeah. So, and I don't like trying to get them off when they don't want to come off. So, yep. So how's everyone doing? Does anybody live in the path of Francine from Louisiana all the way up? I think I read where it was Tennessee and Mississippi, didn't I? Hope y'all are all okay. I know those suck. A friend of ours, his aunt lives in Louisiana, and he called to check on her. And she said, oh, yeah, you know, they got like 10 inches of rain, but they never lost power. And, you know, when you're from the South, that's always the thing. It's like, oh, yeah, you know, it blew all our trees over, but we didn't lose power, you know. So, because that's like the worst part is losing power, because it takes so long, or it can take so long to get it restored. So, yeah. So that was good. I was like, well, I'm glad she didn't lose power. So anyway, of course, now, you know, our nice little cool front that we had is now gone. And I think we're going to be approaching 100 again. So, although this morning, it was nice outside. It was pleasant this morning. But once that sun comes up, and it's a whole nother different ball game. And it was hot today. But that's okay. We went over to the house, our new house, and those guys, as if you've been here for a little bit, you know that we bought a house. It was originally built in 1995, and so much of it is all original. And one of the things that was original were the wood floors in what we're calling a study. For whatever reason, this house has a den and a living room, and both are identical. So they're just across the entryway from each other. So, yeah, so the one in the den was not original. I don't know why. I think they just, her husband had gotten ill and he passed away. And so I think that because they had changed some of the floors to this new wood floor, which we're keeping, but they had extra, so I think they just never got around to doing that other room. And I'm telling you, that's probably a good thing, because the contractor has his guys out there demoing, and let's see, what time is it now? I don't even know what time it is now. Let me look at my iPad. It's almost 2 o'clock. When we left, probably about 1, a little after 1, they had been working. We got there originally at 9, left and came back. But at 9 a.m., they were there, and they were trying to get that dang floor up. And at 1 o'clock, they weren't even halfway done. And it's not that big of a room. So it looks like it was glued directly to the concrete. So that's always fun. So they were working their booties off. And there's, I think, 3 or 4 of them, and they were rotating, taking turns, getting it up. So, yeah, they got the tile up in no time, but this is taking some time. So, and then we got, we need some work done on the wrought iron. And so, the wrought iron fencing. So, had that guy, the guy who put our fence in, had him come out. And he was like, well, if you get aluminum, then it will never rot or rust. And I was like, yeah, but this has been here since 1995, and it's you know, it's rusted and rotting out, true enough, but you know, we'll be dead by the time that happens. And but then he said, well, on this one part, because it's the fence and the gate and everything is done in the same bricks as the house, so it matches, and that's all custom made. So, because he said, well, aluminum was about 20% more. So then he was telling us that he can order aluminum in any size, but the wrought iron he'll have to have custom made, and so then we would have just lost our 20%. So I was like, okay, fine. But yeah, so. And then I've used this we both, even my son Jacob uses this landscaping company, and they sent out a guy that was supposed to be a landscape designer, and but he also was our tree expert. And so we told him from the get-go when we met with them like 3 weeks ago, the most important thing right now is these trees, because we have 3 trees, 2 of which will hit the roof if they fall, and they're leaning. I mean, it's not like they're standing straight up and we're afraid they're going to fall. No. We're not messing with those trees. These trees are actually leaning, and I mean leaning. You can see the roots trying to come up. So, they need to be taken care of. And so, he's like, okay, yep, we can get that done. We can get that done. And okay, well, so we met him over there, and he's like, well, I'm going to come back this weekend. This was on a Friday. He's like, I'm going to come back this weekend because I don't have the tape with me, and we'll go through and I'm going to tape up the trees that I think need to go, and then you can come back and take down the ones that you were like, no, I don't want that tree to go. And then I'll come on Monday and see. So weekend came, weekend left, Monday came, Monday left. And so Max texted him and said, what's the deal? You didn't put the ribbons out. Oh, well, yeah, I got busy. Okay. So he came out again and with another tree guy and put the things on there. And we're like, okay, that's fine. So then he was like, okay, well, I'll give you a bid. Okay. Remember, we want to get this done ASAP. We really need to get this done. Okay. So, a week goes by. We hear nothing. And so Max texts him and is like, are we going to get a bid? Well, then, yes, I'll give you a bid this evening. Okay, well, he didn't. The next morning, he sent over a bid. Okay, we're like, okay, well, fine, let's do it. We need to get this done. Well, then guess what? Then there's a tropical storm, and I'm like, oh my God, And so Max tells him, we're really worried about this. And he's like, well, we can't do it for a while because it needs to dry up. Okay, but, we really need to get this done. So then the tropical storm passes, or the hurricane passes, and we're going to be fine. And it hasn't rained here since Tuesday, right? So it hasn't rained here since Tuesday. Today's Friday. So Max sent him a text on Wednesday and said, when, is this going to get done? And he said, oh, we'll be there in the morning, first thing in the morning. Okay, all righty. So that which would have been Thursday morning yesterday. And Thursday morning comes around, and he sends Max a text and said, we had equipment failure. We won't be able to be there this morning. Okay, which left it as thinking, well, but maybe this afternoon we'll get it fixed. Okay, no. So then Max texted him this morning and said, so y'all will be out, this morning. I think I need one more, but I'm going to leave it over there for right now. And his response was, no, we can't make it out this morning because we were in another city yesterday, and it rained, so we're behind. It's like, I thought there was equipment failure. Which one is it? And it didn't rain in Friendswood. So anyway, so I told Max, I said, let's just cancel. Let's just cancel because this is just really getting old to me. And, oh, shoot, doggy. One thing I didn't count on is these don't have the DMCs on there. Ooh, okay. And these are in numerical order. Okay. Well, I just have to pay attention, don't I? So anyway, Max went to cancel with him, and then the owner's wife, because it's a family-run business, right? She contacts us, or sends Max in a text, and was like, you know, we saw that you wanted to terminate, and we will honor that, but, you know, could you please let us know why? You know, maybe we can fix it. And so I told Max, I said yes, and I wrote out, you know, what our issues had been, and so he just copied and pasted and sent that to her. And sure enough, she responded and said, well, unfortunately, we've had a lot of complaints against him, and so we have terminated him. And from now on, Brandon, you know, who I always deal with, will be handling this. So if that's okay with you, we would still like to move forward with the contract. But if you don't want to, we understand, and we'll respect your wishes. So I don't know what Max is going to do. I said, I don't mind dealing with Brandon. And I kept telling him, I said, you know, I wish we just would have asked Brandon, because this guy, you know, he's also supposed to be writing up a bid on a landscaping job. And he hadn't, by his own admission, he's like, I totally forgot. I haven't even worked that up. And let me tell you something, guys. This is no putting in a couple of plants, okay? This was like laying pavers, making a new patio. I mean, this was a big job. And so, anyway, but the guy, it's like, I don't think he knew his hiney from a hole in the ground, because there were some plants. I was like, well, what are these? Because I wasn't sure. And he goes, oh, those are hibiscus. Now, I used to go to hibiscus shows, okay? So I know hibiscus when I see hibiscus, and I love them. They're one of my favorite things to grow in a pot, but these were in the flower bed. And I was like, really? That's hibiscus? And he was like, oh, yeah, they should be blooming soon. And I'm like, it's the end of summer, you know? There should be dead blooms, spent blooms. I mean, you know, they bloom spring through late summer. So, Oh, I just know I'm going to screw these up, y'all. I just know it. I wish they put the DMCs on here. I just need to make darn sure I don't get out of, even these are still too long. I don't get out of, let me cut these some more, out of order with these, because, yeah, I didn't realize they did not have, oh, you know what? It's okay, because I have this Dumaflichi inventory sheet. Okay, I'll just move that right there, because I will probably need that. So anyway, so, and then he was telling us, you know, along the back fence, our house is heavily wooded, right? And it's very natural. And the house itself and around the house is raised up, so it doesn't flood. And there's a ditch that runs behind our fence, which is between us and the church there. And it was like, you can just put some flower beds out there, have it raised up. I mean, he was just going on and on and on. And I told Max, I said, I don't want to do that, because everything needs to drain that way. You know, we're going to end up flooding our house. And so Max told him, he's like, well, you know, we can't do that because, you know, we'll flood. And he's like, oh, yeah, I guess so. I didn't realize that was drainage. You call yourself a landscaper, and you know, you're not factoring in, you're a landscape designer, and drainage doesn't even factor into your, it's like, no. Nope. So I was already leery of him. I was like, I don't like him. You know, I think he's full of it. And he was, you know, I didn't like him at the very beginning, because first thing he said was, well, these are all trash trees, talking about our cypress trees. No, not cypress, cedar trees. And I was like, I like cedar trees. You know, It's like, no, I don't think these are trash trees, okay? So no, I mean, I think if it was up to him, he would have cleared the whole damn lot out and, you know, put grass in. And it's like, we bought this house because of the acre lot and all the trees. You know, we want it to stay natural. Oh, so, I don't know. Max had already gotten someone else to come out and look at it tomorrow. Part of me wants to go ahead and let that person look at it so they can go, no, these trees are actually fine. They're not dead, you know. But I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. I'm leaving it up to him. These don't fit very well either. I should have taken more off. That's okay. I'll know next time. I will know next time. As much as I was disappointed not to start the Bella Safina, I'm actually excited to start this one. And I'm only going to use one bottle from this drawer, so I'm going to put this drawer back. So I'm not having to open it up every time. And I will just set this one aside. It'll be just fine. Oh, goodness. All right, let me see if I can cut more of this off here. Let's see. That's still really big, but that's okay. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw all this away, and then we'll start this process. Okay. I see static in there. Oh, and I'm going to be using, I got this last year. It wasn't, I need to clean it out. It wasn't part of the Drills and Chills, but I used my Drills and Chills code from last year whenever I bought my Drills and Chills tray. So it's from Bijou Bliss. And yeah, I like it. It's got the magnets. Some people don't care for all that. I do. I absolutely do use that. So, and my cover papers are going to be from Bee's Crafty Corner, and they're my Dachshunds, of course. Of course. So, let's see here. We need 151. So, let's see here. Oh, they're already jumping. Jumping. I think you get less static with the heat sealed bags, but honestly, I don't know because I don't do many of these, so I can't really say. But now since, let's see, let me take this. This is, forget who I got this through. It was on Etsy. Let me do that. Let me take a little of this and see if that helps too. And it is see if that helps. Okay, let's see here how this is gonna go. Put my little bottle right there. I set it on top of my tray, so if any falls out, you know, then it's easier for me to catch. Although I still lose a lot whenever I kit up, so. All right, that worked. So none stuck there. All righty, here we go. So anyway, that appears to be all that's going on in my little insignificant life. I did get caught up on some of my favorite content creators, so that was nice. Yeah. I've still got a lot to catch up on, though. But I was just glad to get some diamond painting done. I actually get more diamond painting done when I listen to either YouTube or an audiobook, but I haven't listened to an audiobook and I don't even know how long. Let's see if this is still damp enough. Yep. I hope I'm keeping y'all in frame. I feel like I keep forgetting and moving out of frame. Probably should have moved my camera. Actually, it's my phone. Oh, I did order a new iPhone. well, I done the pre-order thing, right? You know, the pre-order. And there's a lot of trash in here. Little bits and pieces. Yeah, like, okay. Let's see if I can get these out, and I'll leave the rest of them in there. Yep. So, and I'm really hoping that my phone will... What happened was, this is the first time this has happened to me. Absolutely the first time. I cracked my camera lens thingy. And I didn't just crack it. I mean, like, pieces are coming off of it. So it's like, oh, no, 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 no. I can't record without that. So just turned, because I thought I was going to have to go and buy... And, you know, just get another phone. I was like, man, I hate to do that when I could wait for the new one to come out, you know, because it's coming out. So I've been babying the heck out of it. And, yeah. But I've never dropped my phone as much as I have dropped it since I started YouTube, because trying to get it onto the holder is hard. And I don't have great mobility, so... in my hands, so it just really makes it hard. All right, now I have 2 5s, so I'll just take one of these 5s and I'm gonna put it, I got a drawer over here and I'm just gonna throw it in there. And I know what color that is. Yep, that is 310. So. Let's see, that's quite a full bag. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah, that's not going to fit all the way. So what I'll do is I'm going to take that bag that I just had and see if I can't. Boy, look at all the static in there. Maybe they'll go in there and calm them down some. Let's see if we can't put the rest of these in there. Ugh. 310s are the worst, man. All right. I'll seal this back up. Put it right there. This over here. Now we need number 6, 350. So anyway, are any of y'all doing Drills and Chills and or Small Shop Fall Festival? I'm not entering for prizes this year. It took me forever to finish my Oz and Og. I mean, it literally took me, where is that thing? Oh, I don't know where I put it, but it started on August 2nd and I finished today. So, yeah. A very long time, much longer than necessary. So, but I'm ready to be back to a square kit. And then maybe if I get this one done, because there's going to be a lot of color blocking. So if I get this one done, because I think Drills and Chills and Small Shop Fall Festival go through October 31st, maybe I'll have a chance to get the Bella Safina started, at least started, if not finished. So, and then it'll be time. Well, yeah, I'm definitely going to do the Mucha from Single and Placing. Anthony from the Single and Placing. I'll link his channel below if you don't know about it. He's doing Mucha Mania, and I love Alphonse Mucha. So I've got actually a couple of kits that are Alphonse Mucha that I can use. So, oh. Yep. So that'll be good. But I do want to do jingle drills, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, in a perfect world, I'd be moving somewhere in there. So, I mean, it feels like, yeah, we'll never move. You know, we're just spending money and doing stuff, but we'll never get to live there. That's what it feels like. Hopefully that's not true, but that's what it feels like. Now, this is the last number, last numerical symbol. Let's see. What else has been going on? So, last night, every night when I go to bed, I like to lay in bed and watch some YouTube. I usually don't watch diamond painting because I like to listen to that while I diamond paint. So I have other YouTube channels that I follow and that I really enjoy, and they help relax me and put me to sleep. Well, last night, YouTube suggested one to me. I'm just going to put this over here so I can make sure. A is 498. It is. It's number 10. Okay. And I don't remember the name of the channel now, but it's called Shanty Boats. And I always thought shanty was something over in the UK, right? But he's got a shanty boat, and him and a friend of his who also has a shanty boat, they are traveling around, I guess, the Great Lakes. And they live on these boats, which I think is cool. I mean, it's almost like a camper, but a boat. And they're nothing fancy at all, but it's pretty cool. And he's got a beagle named Wavy. And so he has a little dinghy, and he has to, get off to take her to go potty on shore. I'm sure if I watch more of his channel, I would find out that he also probably has pee pads or something for her as well. Because, he goes 5 miles an hour, and he was in the middle trying to get to the island, and it was 35 miles away. So, I mean, that's 7 hours. So I'm sure he's got something else for her, right? So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. I love to see different things people do, for adventure and, outside of the norm, or people who live just a little bit different outside of the norm. So, yeah. So I think I ended up falling asleep watching, so I'll have to go back and start it again. Or pick up, gosh, what's wrong with me? Pick up where I left off. But then I want to see who else does this, Is this a thing? I didn't know it was a thing. But there were other boats. So, yeah. And he must have a lot of followers, because there was a sailboat that recognized his boat, and their viewers, subscribers or whatever, and they came to say hello. So, but man, I have never been to I've never been to the Great Lakes except when I was in Chicago. I went to Pleasure Pier. That's what I saw of it, right? But I know that they're massive, and they can get some really bad waves. And they certainly are massive. My goodness. Massive. I mean, when you say lake here, I think it's something small. They're not really big, Oh dear. I'm going to have to pause you because our yard guys are here. And I need to shut the dogs up. So I'll be right back. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. But Snoopy will think he needs to go out there and kill them. So I had to shut the doggy door so they couldn't get out. And I may have to pause here once they get closer to the backyard or in the backyard, because once again, Snoopy thinks he should go out there and kill them. So I want to make, he'll bark. So yeah. All right, 14 is E. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I tried to move the camera up a little bit. So hopefully you get to see more, if you're even watching. I know a lot of people, myself included, use kitten chats, like whipping chats. I don't watch. Although, when I first started diamond painting, I was like, what the heck is kitting up? You know, I'd see people post, you know, if they had kitted up. I'm like, what does that even mean? You know, I was new. And back then, you know, I was just buying the cheapy kits, you know, and they were not very big. And so I was just doing a color as I went. And by golly, I got one that was a little bit bigger, and I was like, I don't like this at all. And so that's when I learned about release papers. I mean, I did try the washi tape, you know, sectioning off with washi tape. I never could. I mean, I bought the ceramic cutter, I did all the things, and I never could cut it right. The plastic always tore, the washi tape always rolled up. I mean, it was just, it wasn't for me. So I discovered release papers, and at first, you know, I bought just the cheap, you know, plain release papers, which work great. And I like that better anyway, because when I'm working on a kit, I don't really want to be looking up around. You know, I want to focus on one section. So then I feel like when I completed a section, I have completed something, you know. Okay, 16 is this backwards G. I don't know why it's backwards, but it is. So, yeah. I have just, and then of course, then I discovered pretty release papers. And I actually bought some on Amazon because they were inexpensive and I liked them fine. Until I ended up, 17 is H, yep. Until I ended up, I don't know. I guess maybe it was for drills and chills or something. I don't know. But I ended up buying from a small shop, and I got those, and I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. These are a lot thicker than the ones I bought on Amazon. The ones on Amazon were cute, and they work, but, you know, they rip easily, and, you know, they don't last as long, and they're not as thick. And I do like the thicker ones because I can maneuver them better, position them, you know, better. Get in there. So yeah. And then that's when I discovered all the pretties. I tell you, it's all about the accessories, right? I really need to stop doing that. Although, you know, like these with these crafty corners, it's like, oh, there are dachshunds, for crying out loud. I have to have those, right? So I also got some from Crafts with Crashly, I think. Did those come with Crashly? I don't remember now. I think so, though. I think so. Yeah, I think they did. And they didn't last as long. I think she's upgraded her papers since then. Okay, 19. That's 817. So, but you know, when you buy release papers, you don't want to buy just one package, right? Because, you know, you're trying to maximize shipping. And if you buy a bunch, then it's much better, right? More economical, right? So I usually buy about 5 different ones at a time. And it's like, ugh. Now I have all these, now I need like a storage system for my stupid release papers. It's like, good grief, man. Wish I could figure out a way to make money from diamond painting. I wish I could find out something to stop static, you know? Because then I'd be a gazillionaire. Okay, L is 20, yep. Okie dokie. Don't you think I'd be a gazillionaire? I think so. But yeah, all of these have static. Every last, so far I'm on bag 20, and all 20 have had static. Uh-oh. This one's even a little worse. Hang on. Yep. Well, dagnabbit. Let's see if this will go in. Come on. Come on, my pretties. The heck? And there's a couple of stragglers. Okay. See, they still have static in them. I guess that is from resin, right? I mean, that's what I've heard other people say, so you know, I have no reason to doubt that, but it's always a trade-off, right? We'd like to have resin. Although, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the first diamond paintings that I did from Amazon, I feel confident those were, you know, probably acrylic. But, you know, then I only did rounds. So I didn't do squares. And it wasn't that I knew there was a difference. In fact, I was in a diamond painting group that was not, you know, it was just a diamond, and in general diamond painting group. And wasn't affiliated with anybody. And so I had asked, you know, like, well, I'd like to branch out and I'd like to find some premium companies. And I was asking for recommendations. That's how I found out about Diamond Art Club. And they were like, well, it depends on what you want. Do you want rounds? Do you want squares? And I'm like, there's rounds and squares? I mean, I just, up until that point, had only ever gotten rounds. Not intentionally, just, I didn't know any better. You know, I think most of the ones on Amazon probably are rounds too. Because they are smaller kits. I was like, oh, I didn't know there was a difference. Like, well, yeah, there is. And if you want to do squares, Diamond Art Club has really good squares. So I was like, okay. So I didn't immediately get squares. I went with rounds. And because pretty much I bought what I liked. If I liked it, I bought it. That was the beginning of my big stash collection. And because I was I got on there right before Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Or, you know what? It may have been, that may be when I started. All I know is I went diamond on Black Friday. But, you know, I was just buying the images that I liked, and one of them happened to be a square, and I was like, oh no. Because so many people were like, I don't like squares, I don't like squares. And I was like, I don't know. Squares are harder, and I'm like, I don't know. So when I first got squares, and I did them, of course, back then I was only single placing. I hadn't multi-placed yet. And so I was only single placing. And I was like, okay, well, I don't see what the big deal is on squares. I mean, they're not scary. They fit just like the rounds do. Oops. So then I wasn't worried about it anymore. In fact, as I continued diamond painting, and especially the tide really turned when I discovered how to multi-place. Because then, to me, multi-placing squares is just so, I don't know, I just love it. It's just so satisfying. And, you know, you can multi-place. I'm sorry if you hear my yard crew. They are out there. So far, the dogs aren't barking, so I'm not pausing. But I love to multi-place squares. And then I discovered that I didn't necessarily like rounds as much. And I discovered that on a Chuck Pinson. Because it was so big. It was so big. I mean, it was so big. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting where I kind of don't like rounds. So then I decided I was going to start switching it up. I would do a round and a square, and then a round and a square. And if I did a big kit, whether it was round. Oh. Well, here's something else I learned. With rounds, if it's a big kit, I don't want it. Because I think I still have trauma from that Chuck Pins. Love the photo or the painting. I actually, got those magnetic frames and hung it up, I really do love it. But it was hard, y'all. It was hard. So let's see, 26 is the TP. Is that what y'all call a TP? I call that a TP. I don't know. It's the only thing I can see. So then I was like, okay, you know what? I had a bunch. I mean, half of my stash was rounds, and big rounds, not small rounds. Small rounds are just fun to do, right? And so I destashed a lot because I was like, I am not going to do these. I am not going to do these. They're just going to sit here and take up space. So I did destash quite a few of those. And now, like I said, now I look, now I pay attention. It's like, okay, I love this. Now, when you've been diamond painting for a while, you do start going, okay, I'm learning some things. I'm learning about color blocking. I'm learning about confetti and which ones I like and which ones I don't like. And it's like, okay, well, I want to buy kits that for me are enjoyable. Just because I enjoy it doesn't mean you do. Some people they live for confetti. The more confetti, the better for them. And I am not. I love to multi-place. If I have to do a lot of single placing, I don't like it. So, yeah. But a lot of people hate color blocking. And to be real honest with you, I don't like a whole lot of either. I mean, I like color blocking, but after a while it does get boring. It gets monotonous. And then I'll start trying to do, designs because it's like, okay, I'm getting tired of doing the same old thing. But same thing with confetti. It's like, I don't like a whole lot of it. So, yeah. And then more recently, because I never really knew what the difference was between computer rendered and hand rendered, or hand charted, I guess, kits. Oh, goodness. I don't know why I keep yawning, y'all. I mean, seriously, it's 2:30. It's 2:34. Anyway, I have learned that I prefer hand charted because some kits, it's like, yeah, it's just silly. 29V. So I've learned that about myself. I wonder what I will learn next. I don't know. There's always room to learn, right? That's why I like a lot of different creators, because sometimes you hear things and you're like, oh no, I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me. Some people are great at teaching things. I did find it fun though when Diamonds and Washi did a video on how to diamond paint faster, which really to me was how to diamond paint more efficiently. And I was like, I already do that. The only thing she did that I don't do, and I did try, and I was like, nope, this is too much for my little old brain to handle, was she would single place with her multi-placer. Now, I think she uses a 12 or a 14. I mean, it's big. And I only use an 8, so maybe that makes a difference. But, she'll put, like, if she needs 2 here and 2 there, she'll put 2 here and 2 there and then place them like that. And it just didn't work for me. So, and, honestly, I didn't give it that much of a chance, but I didn't really want to, I mean, it's like, yeah, I really didn't want to, but it was kind of cool to go, I do that, I already do that, so. So yeah, I watched tutorials on multi-placing from her, from Rachel Ray, and honestly, the thing that did it for me was when Diamond Art Club came out with those thin metal multi-placers, because I was buying the ones that Katie had suggested, but when those came out, I bought some of those and I have not looked back. And because back then I could only place 4, maybe 6, you know? And so I bought, when they first came out, I bought a 6 and I was like, this is too small. So now I have an 8. And for the most part, 8s will pick up 9 if you're doing squares. Not really on rounds. Squares are smaller than rounds. So, I mean, you know, maybe not to the naked eye, maybe, I don't know, but definitely to the multi-placer it is. But yeah. And sometimes I'll use tweezers as well, you know. I don't know if you can see in here, but see how I've got a K right there, it's all by itself, another K right there all by itself, and one down there all by itself. I will fill those in with I'll put those in usually with a tweezers. All right, 33 is percentage. So that brings me to my next question. So Diamond Art Club now sells the angled tweezers. I've never used those at all. And I really would like to see how they open, because the tweezers I love the most are the ones that come in Francesca Studio Works. Uh-oh, hang on. Okay, sorry about that. I did pause y'all because, well, first of all, I guess they needed to, I don't know, they turned on my water hose for whatever reason, I don't know. And it's right here by my bedroom. And so, of course, Snoopy heard that, and he was like, oh, heck no. 36. And so he started barking. Well, then they came up on the patio with the leaf blower. And, of course, that was really loud. So, anyway, but I think they're just about done. But I'll give them a good time to be done before I let the pups out. So, anyway, what I wanted to know is, have any of y'all gotten those tweezers, and how do they open for y'all? Are they, as I find the Diamond Art Club and a lot of the free ones that come in the kits, I'll show you an example. This is Diamond Art Club, and this is Francesca Studio Works, and you see how different that is? These here I have to squeeze harder together, and drills pop out. These here, I almost use them like an extension of my fingers, and so I can just like go down, lightly pick it up and move it. So I'm wondering about their curved ones, if they're, I don't know how you say it, wide or whatever, because I don't want that. But so far I haven't heard anybody say. If you're a creator and you've done a video about them, I would love to know. I am behind on videos, so maybe there are videos out there, and I could watch and see, make my opinion up, or make up my opinion. I don't know. 38, y'all. We're getting there. We're getting there. So I probably won't place any drills. I don't know. You never know with me. I got to put this in my Gems Flow app. This is so new, I haven't even put it in my Gems Flow app. So I need to put it in there, and that I started it once I started. Okay, 39. Yeah, it would be nice if these came with DMCs on them, because then you could easily save them in their bags. Any extras, you know. Do you save your drills? I have some of the rounds that I have saved, but then I quit saving them. And I do save squares, but only from Diamond Art Club. Just because, although Francesca's are amazing, and these seem nice too. Yeah, I mean, these seem nice too. They're multifaceted. I like that. But, you know, I'm afraid they won't match. But yeah, these here, these are nice, I think. But, you know, Diamond Art Club drills are super faceted. Although, I don't know that you would even notice. There's a roundy. No, roundy. God. Get in there. Do this. Oh, Daddy have it. So, anyway, but I try to save my squares. But what I've really been saving are the fairy dust ones, because, and the ABs. I have been saving those. And any other special drills. Let's see, 41 is a lowercase t. You know, I'd like to kind of get a stash without having to spend too much. So, oh, hold on a second. Oh, these past, I gotta text my son. Hang on. Okay. Yes. He's asking us if we would like to eat dinner with him. I usually don't eat dinner, but yes, I want to. He's been gone all week, far away, completely on the other side of Houston in the Woodlands, and for some kind of firefighter conference. I'm not real sure, but I would like to find out what all he did, what all he learned. Was it fun? I was, of course, you know, I was worried to death about him driving. Yes, I know, he's 33. He's not a baby, but, you know, he's my baby. That's why I try to tell him. It's like, no, I get it. You're a man. I get that. But, you know, I gave birth to you, man, okay? I heard your heartbeat before anybody else. I felt you before anybody else. So, you know, you will always be my baby. I mean, my kids are, well, Jennifer will be 41 next month, and Max Jr. just turned 37, and Jacob is 33. So, yes, all of y'all are grown adults, right? But I'll never look at my daughter as a woman. I look at her as my little ladybug, my genie bug. So, I don't know. I mean, I think Jennifer gets it because, you know, she's got 2 kids, 2 boys. I got 2 grandchildren, 20 and soon to be 13. No, soon to be 20 and soon to be 13. I don't think Christopher's 19. Wait a minute. No. He will be 20. Because, I know this, because she will be 41, and he was born 3 days before her birthday. Her milk came in on her 21st birthday. I was like, you know, you're supposed to be in Vegas, right? and having your first drink and stuff. But no, that wasn't what was happening. So, yeah. Anyway, so yes, I know that they're not babies, but I worry. I can't help it. And like I said, I think once you have kids, I don't think it's anything you ever think about until you have kids. Because I remember my grandmother, she had lost a son. So that's important information. She had lost a son when he was 17 to cancer. And I was born 10 months after he passed away. So to say she was a little overprotective is putting it mildly. But, I did understand because I saw her cry daily. I mean, maybe not every day, but every week for sure, missing him. So I do understand that it's something. But I can remember when she'd be like, when I lived on my own, she'd call me every evening, Leanne, are your doors locked? Are your windows locked? And I'm like, yes, my gosh, I'm not a baby. Well, you know what? Then I had kids. And then I found out what it's like to feel that way. And it's like, okay, I get it now. I know now where you're coming from. I mean, because let me tell you what, some of the stupid things I was doing, she would have, yeah. I had to remind myself of that when my kids were, 46 is this. I had to remind myself when my kids were growing up. But you know what? My kids didn't have the street sense. I had street sense. My kids did not. And I think it's just kind of how you're raised and where you're raised. I mean, yeah. I didn't go to a nice school or, didn't live. You learn street sense is what I'm trying to tell you. I mean, there were riots and stuff at my school. So you learn to look over your shoulder. You learn to do all that stuff. And my kids, especially Max Jr. was always like, why would, but Jacob's the same way. Jennifer, being a girl maybe, I don't know. She was always a little bit more cautious. But my boys were always like, why would anybody want to hurt us? Why would and Max was so trusting, why would anybody want to harm us? And we took him, the boys were really into Pokemon. And Max Jr. had quite the collection. I know because I spent a lot of money on them. And they were having like a Pokemon, I don't know, convention or, not a convention, but it was in the mall. And so people had tables set up. You come and you have your cards and you can trade and all that. And we left him there, because he was about 12. We're like, okay, well, we're going to walk around the mall. And let's see. Yep, this is 48. And then we'll be right back. We're just going to do a lap around the mall. We came back, and he was sobbing, absolutely sobbing. He had no more than sat down, and a group of boys came by and grabbed all of his Pokemon cards. I wanted to find them and beat them. Of course, they were long gone. But he was so upset. And I really felt like his innocence got taken away, because he'd always been like, why would anybody take my stuff? Why would somebody do that? And it's like, because there's people like that. There are people that are bad people. And he was always so difficult to even try to say, don't talk to strangers and all that, because he was like, does a stranger have a certain look? Well, a stranger is because he was like, what does a stranger look like? Well, it's somebody you don't know. Oh, okay. Well, so then he'd be like, he'd go up to him, hi, my name is Max. What's your name? And they tell him his name. And then he was like, well, we're not strangers anymore. And I'm like, oh my gosh. you know, this boy. But he just had such an innocence about him. And when that happened, I think you really figured out, oh my gosh, you know, there are people that for no reason whatsoever will do you wrong. And it's like, yeah, they will. And, you know, you hate for your kids to learn that, you know? I mean, yeah. It broke my heart. I cried right along with them, you know. But then, of course, I was like, come on. You know, we'll go buy you some more Pokemon cards because, yeah. Okay, y'all. I am through with this. So I'm going to put this up. That lives up there. What is right there? Something's in the way. Move my Q-tip over there. That over there. My dryer sheet over here. Okay, now what I need to do is put on my release papers. So, yeah. Aren't these so cute? If you haven't tried Bee's Crafty Corner, I'll link her down below. You really should. She's got some really, some really cute things. And she's in Canada, so you want to make it count when you, for shipping and everything. Let's see here. Okay. That looks good enough to me. I'll always have to go back in and kind of straighten them up once I take one off because I rarely ever get them lined up perfectly. So, oh, and I also noticed that now, because, you know, I always have like a piece on here that's, you know, doesn't fit a whole release paper. Although, look at here, y'all. This one is. This may be the first time that's ever happened. But she has some now that are skinny that will. But look at that. That's the first time that's ever happened. Fits like a glove. And that's all I'll use. And once I peel this one up, I will put it up here. And I'll just keep doing that until I get, you know, to the top. So that's all the ones I will use for this. Let's see, put these back in here. And then I need to answer all these texts because they're trying to figure out where they want to go eat. Where's my release papers? Let's put it right there. Okay. So that's it for now. And the next time I talk to you, I will probably be doing a whip and chat on this kit. I do plan on placing some drills this evening sometime. I plan on it. If I don't, it's okay too, though. So anyway, thank y'all so much for watching and listening to me ramble on about my my current situation, my current events. And I hope you like the video and you give it a thumbs up. And I hope you will subscribe. I really would like to see you back and have you here. That would be great. I would really appreciate it. And leave me a comment down below if you feel like it, if you have time. If you're watching on your big TV, it's impossible to leave a comment. But you can leave a like, and you can subscribe from your TV. I do it all the time. All right, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day or evening or whatever time you're watching this. For me, it's Friday afternoon, so going into the weekend. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.